statistics on Down syndrome kids after 40 quadruple.
Sure, after 35, you start getting bad kids.
Exactly. Like it just increases everlasting. It just goes up incrementally. It's insane that anybody would be like, oh guys, this is how this works. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is genuinely wrong with you? Not only that, you cannot keep up with that fucking kid. There's no way in hell you're going to be in your 50s and running after a fucking toddler. Like, there's no fucking way.
That's
stupid.
That's one of the big things I had.
I struggled.
Yeah, like when I was like as I've grown up into like my 20s and 30s, I'm just like, oh, I'm tired a lot. My back hurts, and I don't even have to raise me while working a job. So it's like, oh, that's why mom just slept all day. That's why my dad would, he would just be like, all right, don't wake us up till dinner. I'm ordering pizza. Because you have no energy left.
Yeah, no.
And then it's like, and that was it was his prime of his life, and it was too much.
You burn out so fucking quickly, man. And I. Boys, it's 162. How's it going? It hasn't been a long time, but it feels like it. I feel fucking exhausted. We had a really good episode last week, and Search fucked us, but whatever. It is what it is. Check out G Fuel. Use code RMTS at checkout. Nirth, it's been a while, buddy, since you've been on. How's it been?
It's been good. Yeah, I've been mostly not online the past couple of months. Just been really focused on my day job, but very excited about TCG Pocket. So looking forward to dive into it.
Yeah, no, a lot of shit going on with Pokemon's interesting right now. And Brayless is going to look at us and be like, oh, interesting? There's no fucking way something interesting's happening. No.
I was actually just like, immediately just, that's not interesting. And Nirth, like, I love you, and I love how much you like Pokemon TCG Pocket, but no, it's not it right now.
So with the new pack coming out next week, you don't think that they're going to fix the problem?
That's not even the set. The set's coming out in January.
Could have swore we're
getting a promo pack. It's like we're getting like promo pack A or something.
Did you ever play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, where there's like a main box and then mini boxes?
Yeah.
I believe this is like a mini box, so it'll be like half of the packs that were in the amount for the box right now.
No.
So instead of there being like 400 cards, there will be like 200 cards or 100 cards, which could change quite a bit.
Yeah, we'll have to wait because like the data mine hasn't even shown us like what's going to be in that and everything else. But okay, Nirth, pop off. What's going on with TCG Pocket?
I'm actually quite out of it. Like, I've been playing the game, I've been opening the packs, I've had a lot of battles. I think actually I'm quite a casual player in the game, but I'm having a lot of fun. So I didn't know there was a new set. Like, I understand that the game is eventually going to bring out some new cards and a new set and all that, but yeah, I have not been able to keep up with anything. So
no, well, there's a data mine, and the data mine gave us like the roadmap for the next 3 months.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Zach looking for it?
Yeah, I'm looking to see if they have the leak for it. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I really
El Chico Eevee did it. Centro did it. Should be findable.
Yeah.
Does it mention anything about trading?
Pokemon Meta has.
That's the one thing.
Trading is January.
Really?
I'm going to play right now. Well, all right. I guess that's just didn't show up, but yeah, I need to open my packs.
I feel like trading has
literally
potential for the game. I just wonder how they're going to do that with the players that just got access a month early and shuffle their account.
Yeah, like how do you balance any of it?
The double Mewtwo's. You guys can do the battles where the people are using the Mewtwo's.
Bro,
holy shit, guys. I think they're going to end up doing the same exact thing that they did with Pokemon Go, where you have to spend the sprinkle dust in order to trade cards and shit.
Yeah, but I mean, the dust needs a use. Also, I haven't checked right now, but we're doing this live. Let me tone down the exposure on my camera so maybe shit show. Oh, dude, look how beautiful that is now.
Whoa.
That's the first card. I might have a God Pack. And I want to...
I was trolled like this today, too. I got a Blastoise.
Oh, it's a regular pack.
Nice.
Just a regular pack.
I got a Blastoise EX just like that. And I was sitting at work, And
The order is fucked up, and
hmm.
sometimes, it's like, wait, that shouldn't be in slot 3. But dang,
OCD, that
I
always
thought we were
fucks me
about
up.
to do something crazy.
But it has some weird sounds too when it's like a rare
No, I
pack or
can't play
whatever.
sounds, or else that'd be too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who
Nice.
plays games with sounds? Who the fuck?
But it also
that?
does ruin the immersion when you open it up and then the pack goes pew. It's like, oh wait, I already got the rare. Okay, cool. What pack should I open?
I don't know. I've been
What
doing
kind of decks are
Charizard
you
because I
building?
need Mewtwo.
But just name
not Mewtwo and
cards.
Moltres.
Oh,
Just name.
Upcoming
Do
promo
Charizard,
cards.
Pikachu, Mewtwo?
Pikachu.
Cool.
Here's the upcoming promo cards, boys. I'll pop these up on screen.
All right.
Is that already is this promo pack or something else?
Graphic by Andy Collects.
Or is this the Bulbasaur update?
No, this is a new Mewtwo card, actually.
I want that Venusaur. That looks
Yeah,
amazing.
that's already known. That was data
This
mined
is
in
already
data.
known. Oh, I thought the Mewtwo looked sick and the Venusaur looked sick, so I was like, oh, I'll pop this up on screen. And this is the old school Magnemite. That's kind of cool.
El Chico Eevee should have the entire data mine or Central Pokemon.
Eevee? Okay.
Yep.
Honestly, I like that they're mixing the old stuff with the new stuff, and that's
I hate
what
it.
I like
That's
about
what's
it.
ruining it. No, you can't
How's
have
that ruining
EX in a speed duel format. You can't have 2/3 of your points be in one power crap card. I just wanted to play not trash base set because that was great back in the 90s when you just play whatever and there's a chance. I wanted medium power level because the game needs to reset from where it is, where Pokemon have 380 health. They put on a hero vest and get 500 health. They're doing 200 damage turn 1 or 2. New TCG is trash, but we're feeling that with Pikachu and Mewtwo anyways. So that's why I wanted it to be fair.
If they add in a whole bunch of private matches and shit like that, and you could do shit with your fans and make those things available.
Private masters.
There is? Oh yes, there is private matches, but you can't. Nobody can spectate them. That's what it was that people were bitching about. If they add in that availability to where you're able to stream stuff like that and do tournaments and stuff with your fans, isn't that kind of what you want? Just remove the EXs.
Spectate doesn't change that. You could do tournaments right now, but that doesn't. I don't see how that does anything because the game is just so poorly balanced. That's why I'm down on it.
Oh, it absolutely is.
And that's why I'm like, you can't have EX. Everything's wrong, and it could have been so good. But much like everything in Pokemon, it's one little thing that screws it up. The NVIDIA Tegra chip making it to where Nintendo Switches get hacked.
Well, the only reason that it's fucky right now is the fact that both Mewtwo and Pikachu have multiple availabilities for EX cards that are stage 1. That's the biggest thing, is they shouldn't have released stage 1 EX cards. That's all they have to do.
Yeah, then you have level X as a mechanic, and that kind of gets its own thing.
Evolution's too fucking slow to be able to keep up with it. And it's ass.
And turn 1 is a loss. I don't understand this game.
I don't understand
turn 1 the only reason why they do the split turn 1, where it's actually more favorable to get the second, is because you can put more cards onto your bench to make sure you don't get knocked out on the first turn. But yeah,
okay.
So one player has to start at some point anyway.
How would you guys rebalance turn 1? Because I think I have an answer of how to do it, but it's only one slight change. So I want to hear your guys' opinion. How would you change turn 1 to make it more beneficial to? Obviously, you can't attack. That's how Yu-Gi-Oh is too. I would assume that they're not going to go past that. But
I have an easy answer. I like it the way it is. I don't know what the optimal solution would be, because one player at some point has to just
the format is so bad. Well, it's not bad. It's just the format's so weird and needs a lot of different things to be accounted for that haven't been accounted for, to where no matter what, someone is getting way too much of an advantage. Yeah, you can play energies, you turn off supporters, and you can't attack. But turn 1 then just gets to evolve and then have a 2 energy 80 damage hit coming their way turn 2, and then the other person wasn't able to evolve, so they get one shot anyways. Maybe that's why. Going first now is 70% loss, but going if they buff going first, it's an 80% win. So they just chose the lesser of two evils because the game can't be saved.
Why don't they? And this is a weird way to balance it. Make it so you absolutely cannot attack at all on turn 1.
Yeah,
you go first. You cannot attack. You can attach energy, and you draw 2 cards instead of 1. Does that balance it enough to the point where it's not overpowered?
You don't need to. No. Like even if you just play energy turn 1, it's way too much of an advantage because again, you get to evolve, and then you have a 2 energy evolution turn 2.
So then remove energy. I agree. I can understand where that would be negative, but like if they made it so you drew 2 cards and you still can't put on energy.
Oh, that'd be awful because now your opponent's swinging at you with the 2 energy evolution first, and you get an extra Pokeball. That potion's going to save you against Mewtwo one shot.
I'm surprised the second turn can use a supporter card. That to me is the weird one. You
well, the only time that matters though is for Misty. Yeah.
And looking at Chico Eevee, I see no fucking leaks for TCG Pocket.
It was down. It should have been a thing.
I scrolled all the way down to October.
Weird.
I also, struggle with what day it is some days, but I may not be that cooked. But yeah, no, it's really fucking interesting because there's little things like that where they could change it and it would change the entire way it's rebalanced. I wonder if they are going to add in competitive or ranked mode or something like that, because there's something other than just collecting and trading cards that they're going to have to do to this for this to continue. It is the #1 card game in the shop right now. Is that because it's Pokemon? Is that because it's new? Or is that because it's something that can grow?
Do you guys think it will have a place at the Worlds?
If it does, that'd be good. Like, that's what made Pokemon Go kind of go next level.
Yes, October 29th. That's weird.
Yeah, there's your Centro leaks.
Oh, December 16th. I remember seeing this, yeah. So December 16th is when the next pack is supposed to be released. So we'll see exactly what that does. I think that they have one big thing that they have to add in, and then we'll see exactly what EXs they'll add. But I think the big thing is they're going to have to add a Great Ball. Make it
they
so
need
you
rare
can get
candy, and they need to like just delete EX.
Rare candy's removing evolution 1, right? It would go straight to evolution 2.
Yeah. Rare candy's weird because it's had so many iterations. Like, I think there was a point where, like, outside of turn 1, and maybe even on turn 1, like, you just play rare candy, and then you max evolve, and that's it.
Yeah, that's why I think that they're going to go Ultra Ball or Great Ball and make us evolve them ourselves, but have a searcher for them, which makes the most sense.
But the thing about rare candy...
Pokemon Breeder card?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, Breeder became rare candy, effectively. But the thing is, like, you need a rare candy if there's an EX format. That way you can, like, get an EX second stage to compete with the EX.
Yeah.
Or regular second stage that has EX power.
And also avoid just being super unlucky with the pulls. Like, I run mostly a Machamp set, and so Machoke is just choked into the deck, and it just does not always want to come out.
Machoke is horrible from what I heard.
Really?
Yeah. Because its HP isn't high enough for it to live 2 hits, but it also, you have to evolve it again, and you have no way to search.
And I think, doesn't he want 3 energies or 4 energies? So by the time you have Machoke with 3 energies, it's already a Machamp.
Yeah. Yeah, the weird power balance of this game is just kind of off right now.
It needs, like, they need to nerf Pikachu, they need to nerf Starmie, they need to nerf Mewtwo. Turn 1 might be fine, and then
they
also
add a ban list in already. Is that what you're saying? Ban list?
No, they just need to do nerfs because it's online. They don't have to errata a card. They just change it, and they needed to test it more. The list just keeps on going on. We need items, like we need tools. So that way there could be a tool where it's like reduce 20 damage from an EX Pokemon, or you have those Poke Powers that are like prevent all damage done by attacks from EX Pokemon. We need those. And it is funny because people are like, oh, EX Pokemon aren't that strong. My deck doesn't have any EX and I beat them. And then it's like, okay, what are you running? Koga? And 90% of decks are Mewtwo, so you just have the type advantage? Game's fraudulent.
The interesting deck that I theory crafted at the beginning was Pidgeot Greninja, which is a really cool fucking deck if you can actually have the tempo enough to build it quickly. The
Pidgeot Aerodactyl is fun.
You can't search it. But swapping them and then poking them in the back from a Pokepower is fucking hilarious because everybody gets frustrated.
Pidgeot controls really
cool. Fast. And that's the problem with it. It's stupid.
Have you guys went up against a Dragonite at some point?
Dragonite's fun.
I
Fuck that game.
have, but they never got online. So like I think they got bricked and they either didn't have a Dragonair long enough, and then I red carded them, and then their Dragonite came on like the turn they died.
Oof.
So I didn't get any of those shenanigans.
Yeah, I've been like just rolled over by a Dragonite and a Greninja deck. It
Mm-hmm.
was not good.
Greninja's fun, man. I
Yeah.
like the whole I'm gonna poke you, but both of the other decks that do it aren't fun. Like not being able to choose which Pokemon you poke when you have Zebstrika out is shit. It not being done through weakness and resistance through Hitmonlee is shit. So I'd rather use Greninja. And you don't even need energies on it in order to
Mm-hmm.
fucking do it either. You can
Yeah,
literally
but much
pack
like
that shit in any
anything,
deck.
you need a competitive mode or else the game just there's no point playing. And people
Yeah.
are like, but do you need to have EX? You need to have overpowered cards and Power Creeper. No one's gonna buy. It's like, yeah, but you get more people buying if there's integrity to the game and it's fun to play. Because like Pokemon sold just fine in the '90s without EX. What are these kids talking about?
Honestly, they should have done it very, very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And I know it sounds stupid because it wasn't a card TV show or a card manga, but if they released the characters and said, okay, you can unlock these cards from these characters, and then you buy the packs and you can get better decks that way. There's a game there. And then you have the fucking competitive mode where you can play the competitive mode against your friends and everybody else in the world based off of an MMR. And it would be so much more sensible than sitting here playing and just randomly queuing for games where there's no way to earn cards that way. What do you earn?
Mm-hmm.
A fucking
Dust,
shop ticket?
dust for trading.
Stupid. Like there's so many holes where it's just like, guys, you could have perfected this. This could have been so good.
This could have been Pokemon Go on launch. Yeah.
But I wonder if that's just they could add a ranked mode, like they had this, or they have this event now where you can
Mm-hmm.
do all the battles and the emblems and
But
whatnot.
why
But
not? It's if it works for everything and it like made Pokemon go to Worlds, why not just launch it with that? Why not launch it with the trading? I there's
Why
always
not
a
launch it
flaw.
with
We're not allowed to
two
be happy.
boxes? Why not launch two boxes? That's what they could have done, and it would have changed a lot. Is keeps the power balance in between the two boxes logical. Release 5 standard decks that you look at and is like, okay, well, this deck you can build this 4 or 5 different ways, and there's 4 or 5 starters that you kind of just have a way to push into. Very similar to how we have Mewtwo and Pikachu and Charizard now. Yeah, there's 3 different ideologies there. Why is there not
Actually,
5?
and I think that would be a really good revenue stream if they made it where like you could buy a starter deck for like $10, like the real world. If you're trying to have digital Pokemon, but you make it like you can only buy one, and you only
That's
get
what
one
Duel Links did.
EX.
That's
I
what
think
Duel
that
Links
would
did.
Yeah, see, where it's just like, oh, I can buy Mewtwo EX deck. You get one Mewtwo EX. You can't buy a second one, and that gets you at least half of the way there. So there's less. It's so free. How are 3 retards better than the entire development team for Pokemon?
It's stupid.
4, because
It's
we have
stupid.
Wings pitching in as well.
It's stupid because you have the availability of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which survives and was the top 10 game on the App Store for years.
Mm-hmm.
Why was it for years? There's lots of whales that are going to be buying packs anyway. Okay, let's actually fill this game out.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do other than opening a pack twice a day. Are you picking up the game to play it?
Oh, well,
All
you
day,
open a
every
pack
day?
twice a day, you build a shitty deck, and then you lose to Mewtwo because that person refreshed their account 80 times to get a Mewtwo deck without paying money.
Oh, I have one. I had honestly, I played this game completely free to play. I have almost 800 cards now, and
I
I
just had
have essentially
792.
every deck. Yeah, I have every deck available to me. But at the same time, it's like, why? I don't want to. There's no ladder. I can't
Yeah,
even say I don't want a ladder because there's
exactly.
no ladder.
Yeah, and the other ranked mode is stupid because, like, oh, you just concede if it looks bad immediately, no cost to a loss, and then you just get your 45 wins, you have your emblem, you pretend something happened. It's not real ranked. Also, the premium pass is such a fumble. You should get more benefits from the premium pass, and then that incentivizes more people with the, like, season pass kind of thing, but that's less pay to win. Because instead of spending, like, $100 to build your Mewtwo deck, if you're really that degenerate, just have millions more people paying the $10 a month and then everyone's still balanced and give some kind of benefit. I had a really good idea for Premium Pass, but I don't remember it.
Well, whatchamacallit? Even people like Duel Links meta, I'm sure that you probably would do it if you stuck on the game a little bit harder, is saying, hey guys, we have whales in our Discord. Add the whales to your friends list, and then you get their packs that they pulled. They sat there and they didn't stop pulling until they pulled the EX. So just have the whales as your friends. Their last pack goes in your wonder pick, and then bam, you have all the availability for.
I think if you have to do that, it ruins the game for like 99% people because they're casuals.
That's the problem, though, is they made it so that way it's abusable. Like free to play wise, you abuse the game and you get everything you want, but there's nothing to do with it now. Trading comes in January. Great. Fantastic. I don't think they're going to allow us to trade any of the top 2 or 3 rare.
Yeah. You can't like trade any of the big gold stars, which is fair.
They could. They could just set a maximum or a minimum on the number of cards you need of a certain type. Like, for example, you can't do the fairy dust the effect on it if you go under 2 cards of a given card. So could be interesting if
that's also not how trading works in the real world. If I have a Pikachu I don't want and you have the Mewtwo I want, I'll give you my one and only Pikachu for that.
Yeah.
True. Maybe the dust is the solution.
Yeah, and at least that means like you grinded for something and you can just grind dust.
Otherwise, they're going to have a situation where, like, if you guys played video games back in like 2006, 2007 on PC, whether it was a Facebook game
or that's what it was. Double
game.
pack points for premium. That's like all it needs, and maybe like one small other buff.
Even triple might make it even. Like double is like 10 points per pack. That kind of feels shit. But 50 points per pack?
15.
15. Yeah, you're right. That seems like it would actually do something quickly. And not just, it feels shitty. But if you sit there and look at games like Yoville or shit like that, where you could sell things for real money and trade money over PayPal, and then you give the item, that's what this is going to turn into if they allow it to be just free trading. It's just going to be, I start a new account, I take 3 or 4 cards off of it, and then I cycle another account and get 2 or 3 cards off of it.
Exactly. Like you get the God pack on a fresh account, and it's like, I just made $50.
Yeah. And honestly, just saying this, do it. Please. Give me a reason to do that. Because I will make a shit ton of money just rotating accounts over and over and over again. Just that way I have pack after pack after pack to pull.
Yeah, I disagree that should be like possible. Like you need to be like level 15 to trade or level 10 to trade or something.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I'm saying
so at least like it takes a week, but then you get to cash out your gold rare Pikachu.
I'm just saying, like, monetarily selfish, Zach, is like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Do it that way. Because you know what? I will absolutely love every single second of it.
What are those cards even worth to people though? That's the big question.
They're saying that the Pikachu and stuff is like $600, $500.
Yeah, that's a fucking lie.
The gold one, not the.
That's still a fucking lie.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I think
pulled 2 of those crown rares already.
Yeah, I feel like even if you do the math, it's like $200. Like if you just paid $200 cash to the game, you'll get some gold rares.
Yeah, I have 1 or 2 of them.
Can't you buy like the highest rarity with like 2,500 pack points? Yeah.
Yes.
So 500.
But that's also max
guaranteed, and then whatever the odds are.
So that's what I mean. Like it's guaranteed with 500 packs plus what you pull in those 500 packs. And also, I'm wondering if like people just don't value it because it's like, oh, it's a game, it's a shitty game that no one kind of plays without ranked. So I can pay $50 to put an immersive Mewtwo in my binder. We already see it in like the actual Pokemon TCG, where if you get a hit is like $8 max in the main Pokemon TCG, unless you get like the super duper ultra mega rare, but that's a physical piece of paper. So I wonder if it's actually like Mewtwo immersive rares worth $7 right now, and it feels.
So shitty. I have the gold Pikachu, which personally I like the immersive rares more. But
yeah, like it's so weird. They should have flipped it for sure.
Immersive rares.
Yeah.
It's weird to look at it and be like, oh, well, that's what I have. No, I have multiples of so many fucking illustration rares that it's just like, why the fuck are they sitting there? Oh, I could turn it into this. And it's like, why would I turn it into that?
Yeah.
Why would I turn it into little fairy dust that pops up as the card's sitting there? Who the fuck cares that much? It's just like, I'll do that with the little useless cards that I know won't be traded at all. You know, for damn sure, nobody's going to go get a Caterpie. But it's like, why the fuck am I going to turn in event cards? There's zero reason to do half.
No, there's absolutely a reason. Why do you pay an extra $300 for your gold Ultra Ball on the VGC? Because that's style. Like, if you fucking drop an immersive Mewtwo and it lights up the entire game, that's just that's a fucking breakdance.
It doesn't, and that's the shitty part. Is like, if it played an animation, like if they went through and made it so that way, every EX full art, not half art, but the full arts played an animation when you laid it down, and then the animation rares played the animation when you sat it down. Everybody's going to want those fucking cards.
Yeah, like that's why I'm like wondering if there's any value.
Duel Links, when you had a card that played with the character itself, it played an animation. Like, you would see Exodia pop out, or you would see fucking Blue Eyes fly in and then land on the field. Like, that shit was fucking cool. They had the opportunity and the availability to do cool ass shit. Yeah. We have the fucking moves available. How cool would it be for Nidoking to jump and do an earthquake when he lands? And it's like, yeah, Nidoking. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? There's no reason that we should have half-baked ideas that are like better than everything they've released.
And it's one of those things, like, this game wasn't rushed. Like, it should... How did they just not develop the game to be good for now? And or at least just like release it in December. We can wait, I guess, if it took 2 months to make it perfect.
When we talked, 9 months ago about this being released, we were like, oh, we're excited about this. Let's see what it does. It's like they stopped development that day. It's like, what the fuck did you do? Let me say this. It is the most perfect, useless game. There's no fucking glitches. There's none. Is it perfect and how it runs? Yeah, it runs fantastic. You have no crashes, no problems at all. I have an iPhone 15. I don't necessarily know if anybody with lower phones are having shitty problems, but I don't. But there's nothing to fucking do. Yeah. Are you telling me these events keep having you play the game all day? No. After I opened up all my 10 pack bundles when you level up to level 10, I stopped playing it all day, every day. Why? Because I was max level, essentially. And that's exactly what it is. They don't give you enough reward for playing the fucking game. There's nothing to play it for.
And it's not like, well, they're clamping it because then they make less money. It's like, no, they're like, people aren't spending money because they're just re-rolling everything, and then there's no reason to pay money to get the really cool stuff because it just doesn't have any interaction. So you don't lose anything by actually rewarding players. And I think that's a big balance that a lot of things have missed in the past, or like just a lot of games in general, because they try to get too greedy, and then that burns the player base, and that makes the game fall apart a lot faster. Where they've just had more people spending a little less. Okay. Everyone's better.
I didn't play Unite, and I kind of know what Unite is, but I haven't touched it. I haven't tried it or anything like that. When you started Unite, was there any benefit to rolling your account in the same way that you are with TCG?
There was no like RNG. Everything was just rewards and levels.
Because when you played Pokemon Master, it essentially was the same exact thing. You were kind of guaranteed to get everything, or mostly everything that you wanted. Yeah. There was kind of no like randomness to it. And I love the fact that they're telling you what percentage everything is. Like,
well, they legally have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with Duel Links, they didn't. And I know that was before that guideline. But like, they're telling you, hey, at this percentage, you'll pull something similar to this. And I like the transparency there. And I think we're seeing something that's actually beneficial. But as a whole, there's not enough here to make it a complete thing yet. And they're making millions of dollars. So where the fuck is this going?
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Sleep had a benefit in resetting your account because you're given a Pikachu at the start.
Oh,
so you're gonna have to sell me on what the fuck this game is, because it has me absolutely lost. Why he would play Pokemon Sleep at all? It seems like one of those like brainless, mindless games, like trying to play Candy Crush and hoping that it works. And I've heard some crazy stories about people spending thousands of dollars. So
on Candy Crush or Sleep?
No, Pokemon Sleep.
Oof. Well, essentially, It is a Pokemon game where you have real, like the encounters are true random. It's a server side game, so there's no cheating. It's a big thing for Pokemon. And then essentially, the odds of getting a Pokemon that has good stats is fairly low. So once you actually find something cool, you can be pretty happy about it. And then it's something to talk with other
You
people
actually
about.
min-max it, like kind of how Pokemon Quest was deep, and it's like, oh, you want to do this, Stu, to roll for this Pokemon to get these bonuses, to get these like stat possibilities, plus IVs, plus all this other stuff. That actually happens in Pokemon Sleep, and then you get more sleep points. So it's just numbers. Like you can make numbers go up, and it's just a sleeping app. So it's like, oh, instead of any other sleeping app, you get to like learn about your sleep patterns through Pokemon, and then you get cool stuff.
On point. Yeah.
Hold on, my headphones cut out. I gotta try and see what the fuck happened.
It also seems a little bit like a nice background with a nice theme to it kind of thing to just look at, to just zone out if you don't want to just mindlessly doom scroll or something. So it can be a nice break. And yeah, I would say the strategy element of the game.
Oh yeah, like that's a
sounds funny
perfect
to even.
yeah, it's a perfect morning poop game where it's like you're just checking all of your stats while you're waking up
and catching a Pikachu and a Squirtle. I've actually been a little bit surprised though so I would say basically from the release of the game, July last year, until maybe August, September this year, I would say most of the player base that at least I interact with have been very positive, optimistic, very on. But I feel like the past month or so, there's been a little bit of a slowdown, a little bit of what's going on here, because it seems a little bit too silent. And apparently the development team seems to be having some things happening in the background, because Ilka is taking over the whole game and some Pokemon works. I don't know exactly how the company is structured. Yeah, so it's a little weird, but
they also just did like a ton of events, and maybe it could just be burnout where it's like, I have woken up every day to min-max my Pokemon. I'm more tired waking up now because I have to do all this shit. You pull out like a calculator and a spreadsheet for sleeping? God damn, no.
Have you seen my spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, like when your videos were just like, you wake up to that? You wake up to a PhD? No thanks. I think people get tired. Also, the game could just have like natural fall off, because I've always been like a huge proponent of Pokemon needing to be community based. It doesn't matter how shit the game is, as long as everyone's playing it. If everyone's following the rules in Pokemon X and Y, the game could still be played today just fine, because you have the infinite replayability. But Pokemon community is trash, and then if anything like falters or slips, it just dies immediately.
I think part of it may just be the odds of actually getting something solid, like the benchmark for something useful is so high, or what would you call it? The bar is so high that it almost feels a little bit too expensive. And then when it's past the hype cycle of the first release, then maybe it needs a little bit of a buff to really have the long-term interest. I, for one, think if they just introduced trading as a feature, it would solve a number of things, and you could just re-roll the stats and everyone would be very happy about it.
Oh yeah, you could pay a lot of money to like get those items that like change shit, right? Or upgrade your passives.
Not really. That's the thing though. The main thing is get the biscuits to catch more Pokemon, and then just get a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah, you just catch every Pokemon every day.
Yeah, like the more Pokemon you catch, the more rolls essentially you have at a good set of stats. And yeah, actually that's one thing I really like about Pokemon Sleep compared to main series. Main series feels to me quite itemized at this point in time, but when you get something in Sleep, it's like, that's it.
You have to make it work.
In nature, you have the wrong stats, and then you just put in the bin and move on.
All right, Zach, actually, what are you planning?
There's a lot of parallels with Sleep and TCG Pocket, but enough about Sleep probably.
I had to go grab a fucking headset. I apologize.
I see that.
My AirPods fucking died, so I had to run and go grab fucking headphones. That way I actually was able to hear you guys, because I couldn't hear shit. I don't know why the fuck they're not charging. I have to clean them again, I assume, but frustrating in the middle of the fucking show to be like, oh, this isn't fucking working. I guess they were sitting on the charger all night and didn't fucking charge. So, life is life. I apologize, Nirth. I didn't want that to seem like I got up in the middle of your conversation that I asked for without
I
even,
try to just take over and just cover the blank.
But no, that game's really fucking weird to me. It's like, oh, I can play it, but when I sleep, and it's like, why? It's like, why would you play Candy Crush when you're shitting?
It's a sleep app that gives you dopamine, therefore you encourage to use the sleep app. I don't understand what's so hard to understand.
The fact that, okay, so when I started playing games, it was like I wanted to play games all the time, even instead of sleeping,
Well, I was going to say, like, now you get to play games while you sleep. It's everything you wanted.
I'm not watching it do it. So not watching it do it, why the fuck do I care? It's just, it's weird to me. I don't understand sleeping apps to begin with, because I guess my sleep's probably too inconsistent for it to actually make sense. But I don't know, man. Like, it's odd to me. Let me open up Drive. I have a link of topics, and where is it? Hang on. So, Nirth, how have you been, bud? I know you said you've been working mainly on your day job and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But other than Pokemon Sleep, what have you been doing, bud? Playing any COD or anything like that, or?
Actually, it's just mostly been my day job. And then if I'd had any time the past couple of months to do anything, I've just been playing Factorio. Have you guys heard about that game?
I've heard about it. I've watched my friends play it. I never got into it because I was always like, I'd rather just play modded Minecraft. But it has like the same buildy tech trees. Like there's nothing more satisfying than when you link together production and it just works.
Yes.
After like failing, where it's just like, oh, I forgot to do that. Oh, I need to do that. And then like when you get your first processing line that's just like infinitely generating shit, it's like, this is the greatest game ever.
Yeah, I feel Factorio is steadily but surely hopping into my all-time favorites. It's all about scale. And the base premise of the game is you crash onto an island in your rocket and you're like, oh, well, I need to get off this planet. And so there are a lot of resources just in piles everywhere. Like you have some coal over there and some ore over there. And maybe you can build a machine to extract some ore by using some of the coal. And the whole thing is a loop of building machines, which release not toxins, but pollution. And this planet is inhabited by aliens that grow bigger with pollution. So bigger machines, more pollution, bigger aliens, bigger problem because they come and attack your stuff. And then it's just a lot of interesting mechanics in that. So not to mention just the way the machines are built themselves. There's a lot of, what would you say, resource planning and a little bit of the balancing of manufacturing, because you have like a one long stream of ore and then you have to turn it into 17 different things to fight off these aliens. So
yeah, I think I saw Destiny playing this when he was talking shit about PK for a little bit, where he was just like making machines and being like, but this, and then undoing the machine and then doing, but this. And it's just like, okay, is this a mindless game that he's just like putting shit together, or is he just really good at the game and also talking shit at the same time? And I was thoroughly confused. I got lost. I was like, nope, I don't even care this much. I was really, really kind of lost.
I mean, if you don't scale properly in the game, the aliens just come and
you just lose.
Maul you. Yeah.
I don't know. My game playing is so fucking weird, man. I've only played like 3 games in the past 8 months.
Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty.
No, I played the new Call of Duty, and I've been playing a shit ton of that, honestly. But before that, I played Ocarina of Time again as a nod to my son who passed away after he passed. And then I played Scarlet and Violet. That's it. And I like kind of haven't reached out or touched anything other than those games in a while now. And it's been really fucking weird. Like, it's just like, why would I want to do anything other than play the game that I actually want to play? Play baseball for a little bit too, I guess. But like, nothing has, dug its roots in. And it's like, okay, this is a new game that I'm like, yes, this one. I have yet to find anything like that. That might be the tism, but I'm not sure. It's really hard for me to get past a lot of games that look similar to that, where it's just like not conventional like 3D. Like I'd rather be a first person or third person game instead of it be like a zoomed out map. This might sound super autistic, but the game that I'm like tempted to go buy is Planet Coaster because I remember playing Roller Coaster Tycoon all the time back in the day, and that shit was a blast. It probably will not live up to the hype of, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 when you're 12, but who knows? Sounds like fun at least for 5-6 hours, and then after that you get bored because you decided to give yourself all the money in order to do it.
Mm-hmm. You have a dock. Start pulling shit from it.
I am. So
like you just yeah.
Here we go.
I have a random topic, maybe.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you guys use the Elgato Stream Deck?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Do you guys use the...
I'm not as much of a programmer as you, so I can't like unlock its potential. But like the convenience of just like, oh, this hooks into XSplit. I can start my recording with one button press, and I can stop it, and I can do an overlay, and I can do this specific scene and stuff. Like I on a basic idiot level, it's great. So you're probably just like, oh, I can now code my entire shit instantly and swap everything I want.
Yeah, basically. It's a drag and drop programming tool that you can just have a button with a screen on it to activate whatever
you want. Create macros and shit.
Yep.
Yeah, Kyle was using macros in order to be able to play, I believe it's Helldivers. He could press buttons on his Stream Deck and it would...
Well, he was also like foot pedaling Tarkov and shit.
Yeah. But like I thought when I bought this Beacon mix amp that it had a Stream Deck essentially on the top of it, and it's literally just the levels. So I was kind of pissed off about that. But yes, I wanted one, but I didn't end up getting it because I got this instead. And I kind of think I made the wrong choice. But
I think I did something degenerate at that time with my Stream Deck where I had like just stock tickers on it. I'm just like, oh yeah, my shit's down 20% today. Boop, start recording.
Nice. I'm just blown away by the power of it because
the productivity is wild.
Yeah, it's crazy because there's a type of button called multi-action. You drag it in, and then you can just sequence a whole bunch of hotkeys to do basically whatever.
So, oh yeah, like video editors also use it. They'll just actually video editors. They go deeper where they just make their own macros on their own keyboard. But the Elgato is extra nice because at least like it tells you what it does. So it's not like I have to tape new key caps and shit.
True. Well, I actually use it at work, and that's basically where all my creative juice has been going because like a lot of business software and business application, there's like you move some data from here over there. And so the multi-action thing, you just like tab, Control V, hop over there, do something. And so you can just press one button, sit back and relax and just let the whole thing just play on the screen like a...
It's weird. A lot of the streamer items and stuff like that, whether it's something as small as a Stream Deck, you look at the XLR, the Go XLR, and people doing voice mods and stuff like that. Like, there's so many things now that can be used in many different ways, and people are being so fucking creative with some of it that it's just like, dude, I just want to learn. But it's like I don't want to put $500 into something and be like, oh, this is the shittier version of this $100 thing. Like I got the new Elgato Nano, I think it is, the little small white one, and it's just as good as the HD60 and the one that's put in your computer now. It's like $80, and it's like a standalone USB hub that sits on my desk now instead of this big ass fucking thing that just knocks people out.
The HD60 is really powerful, but unless you're doing like 4K double computer streamer setup, you don't need it.
No,
if you just want basic capture, yeah.
Like that shit is so fucking obnoxious to me. Oh, I have 2 PCs. How the fuck high is your electric bill?
It doesn't matter. You just have to if you're a streamer. If that's your job, that's like any other job expense.
Okay, but how, to me, and this might be my retardation, looking at a stream that is 1080p, just smooth 1080p 60, there is no reason to upgrade from that.
Well, it's also just
a lot of people are watching on their TVs these days, and I don't know what the state is over there in the US, but at least here I feel like 4K TVs have been around for a while, and so if you have a big and people just watching in their living rooms.
It's not even that like, yeah, you still need 2 computers to put 1080 stream out there because you're recording locally at a higher bit rate. That way your Twitch VOD, or not, but your
I
VOD
thought
upload and the
people were
content
just
you make from
ripping
that
VODs.
is higher quality. Also, it means you can play your gameplay at highest resolution instead of gotta kick it down to low if I'm streaming today. So that's why like you just need a
Okay, so
secondary PC to be the powerhouse.
I understand. But like when people are streaming COD and shit, they're like, "Oh, I need two PCs to stream COD." It's like, no, you really don't.
You do.
My PC can get 250 frames max and hold it on ultra settings. You don't need either of those. You don't need 250 frames in COD. 140 is fine. 120 is fine.
I don't know. CS:GO community says like if you're under 240 hertz, uncompetitive.
But how big of a I don't know. It might just be micro shit, but it seems like so much of that shit is just, oh, I want to do this because the top streamer does it, that they're like, oh, you have to now. It's just like, dude, there's not going to be that big of a difference. There just isn't.
It's a psychological
Yeah,
advantage.
it seems more psychological or trying to be the cool guy than something
I don't
that
know.
actually
It's one of
has
those
to
things
do.
like if you needed that 2 millisecond advantage just because like RNG subframes, you want that. You need it.
Well, psychologically, you're going to think that you're less than and everything else too. Like it's such a disconnect that you're like, oh, no, I feel like shit. It's like, dude, if you're feeling that subconsciously about a millisecond delay on a monitor, change the monitor. You don't need a second PC to change that completely. Like it's weird to me, the weird little dichotomy that, streamer culture has created. So we could go super far in depth with streamer shit like that, I'm sure. Actually, before we swap topics, what's interesting is I essentially have a stream deck on my iPad that I was using for a while to play like sound bites through my mic and stuff like that. Um, and a lot of things like that could be used in the similar fashion. It's really interesting that the stream deck actually has grown to be what it is.
It's just the accessibility that like you don't have to learn how to set up your own hotkey shit. It's just all the software. It's mostly that software baked into the Stream Deck. So good.
And
Automatic.
it, and I think the fact that it's a physical thing instead of it being on your screen also changes a shit ton because it's not like, oh, let me press this button and then it does that thing and then let me touch the screen and then it does that. And you hope that it works or hope that it doesn't find an end that's incorrect or something like that. It's really, really interesting the fact that, that has actually done so well. Because you don't see the same exact love for the little fucking key lights that hang above your monitor and shit like that. Like it's just crazy to look at the different things Elgato has done, and that's one of the two things that caught on. Like its microphone
Well, it's
is
because they
just
have the
normal Logitech
ultimate
microphone.
streamer ecosystem. Like you buy their like $500 streamer kit that comes with the key lights, a green screen, Stream Deck, and a Elgato
Microphone,
HD
the
microphone.
light.
Yeah, and I think they already have like the pre-bundled streamer kits for like $500-$600. Like you cannot beat that. And then you immediately start out as like tier 2 streaming.
Yeah,
Where back in the day it's like shitty webcam, maybe you get a mic, and like it was hard to figure out how to stream. Like, do I use XSplit, OBS? How do I even start
The
this? Now it's
3DS.
instant. Oh, bro, fuck 3DS.
especially now with how weird everything is. Like, there's fucking $15 mics at Walmart that people buy, and they're like, "Oh, this is good enough." Like, guys, it's very, very straightforward. Like there are mics that are online that are like $50 to $60 that you could buy and be absolutely competitive with a $200 Yeti. There just
Oh, especially
is.
if it goes into an amp. You spend like a $40 amp and then a $40 like actual mic, and
Like
then instead of just USB.
you could start streaming for $150 if you're playing the game on your PC that is already good enough.
I
So
say don't do
obviously,
that. I say like you need to get the Elgato ecosystem, and then again you just start out as like peak streamer.
but my point is like in
Yeah.
baseline, the bottom of the barrel, what you should do if you already have a gaming PC and you're using it is you should have the availability of a microphone that's good enough, about $150, and you should have a camera that's $100 or so. And at that point, you are baseline, and that's where you should start.
I disagree starting baseline because then like you're just one of the other dime a dozen million other streamers
Oh,
out there that ends up e-begging
I
for
don't.
their next PC like Crimson Seabad did back in
I
2015.
don't suggest starting like that. That's not where I
Well, but I mean like
suggest starting.
I disagree with like going base. Like if you want to take it seriously, the Elgato system is just too good to pass up. Like that is your hey mom, give me my high school graduation present Zoomer shit.
Like I
Like that's your
remember
Christmas.
I remember starting streaming and starting videos and stuff like that, and it was like, oh, face camless. Nope, that's garbage. Now anybody that's streaming and they don't have their face cam on most of the time, it makes me feel disconnected from what you're trying to do because you're trying to interact and be a part of something. It's just weird to me, like, oh, COD streamer 69, buddy, you're not going to go anywhere. You're on the 66th page of people that could be watched. You have no camera. You're trying to say you're a girl and you're hoping that it works. It's like that's not how this ecosystem is at all anymore. You have
I've
to
been
have some little
making
variant.
how-to videos on YouTube for so long that I remember people saying it was weird that I had the camera in the how-to videos. Like, it's a how-to video. Why is your face on the thing?
Yeah, the weird thing is like Shady Penguin started that in Pokemon with his like double daily uploads like goals, and that's what caused him to blow up because it was like this is different, and this is a nobody with higher production quality than like 100K subscriber Poketubers back in 2013. It's like okay, that's just the meta now.
Exactly, and I think that it's growing so quickly because there's so many people that are learning animations or things like that that are just like they don't necessarily create the entire content by itself, but a smooth transition in between something to something else, or using an application that does those
It's called
transitions and
YouTube
makes them look.
automation. It's pretty much like you actually have to pay for like a really good AI voice reader. If you do that, you type in a script and then you buy some B-roll subscription for like $100 a month, and then you just make like spooky creepy pastas and 10K a month free.
But literally, you could use 11 Labs for, $25. Have ChatGPT write you a creepy story. You give them 3 characters and they tell you about how one of them died. And then all of a sudden you have 50,000 views on that video for the first half of it, and you have 3 videos worth
Yeah.
of shorts and everything else, and you make
But
hundreds
like
of
I said,
thousands
and
of
then that's the
dollars for free.
baseline. So if you invest the extra couple $100 and you get real stories off Reddit, or you just script out a Wikipedia page and then have AI read it with some B-roll, boom. That's actually something because it's on my mind because I was watching a video about like cave diving. There's no such thing as a happy ending in a cave diving video, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I think this is an AI voice, and I'm like, they're recycling B-roll. Like it's the laziest made video ever, and I'm like, I bet this is reading like 80% Wikipedia, 20% extra soft padding for research, and then the video has like 800,000 views. So it's that easy.
Do you guys use AI for anything?
No.
I just make
Imaging
my
every now and then.
pictures. Yeah, images. I don't
Upscaling
like
images for
Chat
thumbnails and stuff
GPT
too.
for brainstorming and ideation. That doesn't help me out too much. And then
Templates and stuff,
scripting
it's
is kind of
nice
weak.
for. Yeah. Like creating a description template or things like that, it's useful for because it's like, okay, I don't want to type all of this random shit, but put all of this information into this and then create the template and then you reuse the template and refill in the information. That's nice. But like if you use it for anything more than that, it kind of gets disjointed. But the thing that I've seen, and it's probably because I've been, getting into that theme of the year, is Harry Potter stories and stuff like that, or they'll take a section of like Harry Potter myths or part of the backstory of Harry Potter and turn it into like an AI scripted video, where it's just like an AI voice talking over AI images of what could be considered Harry Potter. And it's just like, okay, well, this is like a 7 out of 10 worth of content because, for damn sure there's going to be 150,000 people clicking on this, and it is insane.
It's so stupid how like Zoomers just get sucked into that and then they just watch it and then it works in the algorithm even if it's just bullshit and fake. And YouTube does nothing about it like they didn't do anything about Copa. I'm sad. What's the next topic?
I was going to say something, but I'll change into something. What is your favorite core memory? So obviously the idea of what a core memory is like
you needed to put this in like the group chat yesterday so I could think about it. Even though a core memory is just supposed to be immediately accessible, I can't come up with a core memory on the spot.
I'll do mine first. Zero problem. I'll come up.
Well, I'm not going to be listening because all my RAM is going to digging up this core memory now.
You're fine. No worries. So a core memory is essentially something that has changed or dictated your life.
We all watched Inside Out.
No, nobody fucking watched Inside Out. I don't know why the fuck they're making a second one. My daughter said the cutest thing when it was the background for Roku, though. She's like, wait, that's Joy's office, and those are core memories. She's 4. Like, why the fuck do you know what a core memory is? Like, Ava, what's your favorite core memory? When my daddy was a superhero. Like, where the fuck did that come from? Love you, kid, but holy shit. So core memories are essentially the thing that your mind will draw to and be like, oh, well, that's a great memory, blah, blah, blah. It could be absolutely fucking meaningless. Like I have memories of laying in my crib and seeing my mobile turn around. Could it be made up? Who the fuck knows? I have memories of like sitting in my grandparents' van that had fishing pole racks on the side that he built in to the fucking vehicle. Like that was cool as hell, but like at the same time corny. It's weird to kind of look back and be like, okay, well that's the core memory.
Well, there's tons of memes about it as well that use like that Inside Out template where it's like sneezed really funny one time, a core memory.
It's fucking funny. Like, not my favorite one, but a really, really weird one. And this shows my temperament for like 5th, 6th grade Zach. I was dealing with PTSD and shit all of the fucking time. And we were playing basketball in elementary school gym. I think we were just warming up and it was the entire gym. They took away the curtains so that way it was a full basketball court. And this kid really fucking pissed me off. He was playing by himself and he wouldn't share the basketball with other people. And he was a Civil War reenactor. Like he bragged about it during normal class. He was like, yeah, I dressed up as this person. I dressed up as Daniel Boone, like big name people in the American Revolution and the Civil War. So he even came to school some days in a raccoon skin hat because he thought it was cool. So this dude pissed me off for the final time. I walked up to him and broke his fucking nose because he pissed me off. I was like, give me the fucking basketball. And I started playing basketball. The gym teacher's like, Zach, you fucking hit him? I was like, yeah, he pissed me off. He's like, go sit over there. I was like, I don't even get suspended for this. Like this had zero repercussions. I sit down in gym class and now I don't have to do anything just because I punched a Civil War reenactor. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm okay with this. I like this fair trade.
I have too much brain rot. I have memories, but I can't dig up a core memory on the spot.
Nice.
Are you sure you don't have the problem that you complain about everybody else having? Where you have
I can see the apple.
You can see the apple? Okay. Nirth, what is one of your favorite core memories, bud, or one that you could think of on the spot? Like, oh,
I think
yeah,
the one that just lights up is a very, very early memory. I must have been like 4 or something. Very, very simplistic memory, but essentially, I was on some mountain trip, as we do here in Norway, with my grandma, and she had packed a little sweet bun in the backpack. She was holding my hand. I was like a lot smaller than I am now, and we just gazed out at the horizon because the fjords in Norway are quite nice, and just the sun and the scene, and that's always just like been there when I close my eyes. So that would be it.
So if I ask too much or you feel uncomfortable in saying anything, feel free to call me an asshole and tell me to change topics.
Yes, of course, the first time I got laid is a core memory, but that's it. There's nothing else. I just have stories.
The first time I got laid, bud, I counted it as 60 times because I pulled my dick in all the way and then out all the way. And I was like, okay, that's 1. And then I tried it again. But we were also laying on the floor behind a couch. So, and I was 14.
I feel like if you take it in and out that many times, like loops back around, it doesn't count.
It might not count at all, but
that doesn't count.
My tism was like, yes, that. So
that's like one of those things. Like, what are you supposed to do with the NP inside of her?
Exactly.
You take it all the way out and then put it all the way back in. That's what sex is.
I was being a smartass, obviously, but at the same time, like the fuck. So Nirth, Norway is somewhere I always kind of wanted to go.
All right, and come over.
It got really bad when I watched the Hunting Hitler documentary where they're like, okay, well, it came to Norway, and then I saw Norway because, like, you see when they go visit Thor, it's like, okay, that could be Norway, that could be somewhere in California. You have no fucking idea where they filmed this.
Asgard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like Norway seems like one of those places where I'm like, this would be cool as fuck to go, but it doesn't seem like there's anything that like draws people actually to there. Like it seems like Iceland has the like weird blue water shit. England is England and all the history there. What is there in Norway that everybody's like, yeah, that's why you go to Norway, other than like family?
First of all, don't watch that. I don't remember the name of it. Is there something called a blockbuster movie? No, some
Blockbuster was
Christmas.
a
Yeah, that was the Netflix
the
thing. What
box
is it
store, yeah.
called? There's some Christmas movie thing.
Hallmark.
Hallmark. Don't
Hallmark
watch
or
that. Whatever
Lifetime.
that was last year. They made some Norway movie about my city, and it was basically AI. I think that's what they did. They just let the AI, because they placed all the things the wrong places. It's like, here's the airport. No, it's actually downtown. What the hell?
Well,
But
all those movies, whether it's Hallmark or whatchamacallit, Lifetime, are so formulaic. They have okay, so this guy loses his chance at the girl he fell in love with. So we're going to follow the girl he fell in love with until all of a sudden they circle back and they find each other. And guess what, guys? It's a Christmas movie because it's at Christmas time, and he proposes at the Christmas tree that's in the town center, guaranteed. And it's like, okay, how many times are old 30-year-old white ladies going to watch those stories because I don't fucking understand? Because that's what it is. And
nice.
it's just formulaic about that.
Yeah. Well, I think at least on the West Coast, it's a little bit like the Northwest coast in the US in terms of climate, so it's not particularly pleasant. But yeah, I would say probably the fjords is a big like tourism experience. It's very I don't know how to describe it. It's very strange to see how tall the mountains are. Like very basic description, but like for example, when I'm in the US, it's just like it's at least the places I've been, it seems too flat. Meanwhile, here you're kind of just
I've got nothing, dude.
surrounded.
I shut down trying to answer that question.
I know.
I
That's
turned
why
off defragmenting my disk and I can't find anything.
I know. That's why you literally look like you were sleeping. I
Well, that
was
was the
just gonna
point.
let
It was
Nirth
for the
go.
content where I'm just
Yeah, I know.
like, there's
know.
no other
I
function
bought
I
in.
can bring.
I bought in. You're good.
Nice. Northern Lights, that's something else. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Northern Lights is so fake.
Really?
Wait,
I
do you
think you've just
actually
been
like see it in the sky like a picture?
if you haven't seen it nicely, you're just not far up north enough.
Yeah. Well, that's what I
Okay.
mean. Like here, it's so fake because I see people like, oh, this was taken from
Wrong
Portland,
exposure
which is south of
cameras.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, you just do a 10-minute exposure and that's how you see all the pink and shit. But in IRL, it just looks like very faint gray kind of stuff. Now, imagine if you actually go up to like Norway and Alaska and shit, it
You
looks
know,
more like that.
proper Northern Lights is dancing. Like it's
Yeah.
not just like a color. And,
I could see it dancing like very weakly and faintly, but like, how close to like the best picture does it look IRL for you?
I haven't been far enough north to really experience the crazy ones, but there every now and then there's something going on with the solar system and all that stuff, and it comes further down. And so I've seen a little bit of the green doing some funny things in the sky, but never the red. But yeah, I think the big thing there is you have to be far up north, and then it's a certain time of year, typically fall or spring. And then you also have to avoid the city light pollution.
Yeah, and then
Because
you need like a
that's just
solar flare.
basically it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but like that was the big thing where it's like a lot of people were talking about seeing it, and they're posting like an overexposed iPhone picture, and I'm just like, you didn't see it, and you're lying
No,
for
that is
social
just
media
you can
points.
fake that. Yeah.
No, like we brought the kids and we're like, okay, this could be cool because if it's actually visible by eye, that's a bucket list kind of thing that a lot of people are like, I want to see the Northern Lights. So it's like, okay, we're gonna go out at 11 o'clock at night with my 3 kids, and if we're able to see it, cool as hell. I got like a couple pictures where the sky was slightly colored, and it's like,
It
guys,
had a green hue.
you guys are
Like,
lying. Like,
Yeah, that was my thought. I'm like, did I miss it? I thought now was the time. I missed it, and I pull out my phone. I'm like, those bastards. This is what it looks like, and it's only on the phone.
not even that. It's like some people around me were like, "Oh, I used my $1,000 camera and I got this picture." It's like, "Bud, you edited a picture that you took off fucking Google Images and put in local stuff on the foreground so that way the background looked different." That's exactly what you did. You are lying. There is no way in hell that the entire sky looked bright pink in your camera, but in real
No, it
life
looks
it was
bright pink in the
black.
camera. I'm trying to look for the picture I took.
the I guess another thing would be like historical places, because a lot of our buildings and just areas go back like 1,000+ years, more so than
Well,
yeah.
I think when you talk Norway, I think a lot of people kind of like imagine Vikings. So they're gonna imagine like Burke from How to Train Your Dragon, like thatched roofs and everything else. And it's so weird and so different that you're just like, okay, well, this is a different culture.
Yeah, so the
And
first one I underexposed to kind of show closer to what I was seeing IRL, and it didn't
yeah,
even look that like defined. So it's like 50% more faint than that on the first picture. And then the other ones were like this is what people are posting on social media, it's all fake.
yeah, I don't want to show
Are you
these
looking at it in
because
group chat, Nirth?
No.
yeah,
Discord. Yeah, Discord group chat is where I posted
All
that.
right.
So you
but
can
no,
interact.
that's the exact same shit that
I
I
was
was
just trying to
getting.
imagine it.
Except I didn't even have the lines in the sky, but I was able to get the colors, which is the funnier part because I took pictures too. I was like, okay, let's see exactly what I'm able to do. I got the lines. I mean, I didn't even get the lines. I would get the color. The color would fill the entire sky, but there would be nothing else. And it's just
Yeah.
like, well, this isn't impressive at all. There's no way in hell that you're going to be in the middle of town and get a more impressive picture than me that's up on the mountain looking at darkness. You're telling me that you're going to get a better picture in this. Nope, that's not how that works. It's not how that works at all. It's just it's so weird, and I hated that shit. But whatchamacallit? Yeah, Norway seems so fucking interesting to me. Norway is one of like the
All of
three places.
Scandinavia kind of has like that allure to it.
Yeah, but it's like as I was telling him, I was like, you don't know why you want to go there. You just want to go.
There's
Like I
something
want to go to
primal about us as white men that
I want
need
to
to
go to
be there.
Germany. I want to go to Norway, and I kind of want to go to Greece.
That's the
And Greece
ancestral ground. Like
may
there's
be like
actually like
shitty.
there's actually a string of your DNA that lights up when they see a picture of like a fjord.
It looks for its original breeding ground.
Exactly. I was
It's
there.
like,
I was
can
there.
I go there and sing "Let It Go," please? While I'm
No.
throwing snow.
You
No,
ruined it. You ruined the topic.
it's the truth, man. What villain do you have empathy for in movies? And obviously,
Dr.
there.
Stone is an
Who?
anime. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I have no
Yeah.
idea what movie or show you're talking about, but it
Oh.
is what it is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Nah, he just killed people. I don't care why he killed people. He just killed people.
Yeah.
I think the easiest one that a lot of people would point to would be the Joker. He was kind of given shit in the Dark Knight, and then all of a sudden he turned crazy. But at the same time, that's not empathy. You're not
Yeah,
feeling
I
bad
also
for him.
don't like
But there's
count fake
understanding.
sympathetic villains like that, where it's like, oh, they wrote it for you to try to think outside, like, oh, but maybe
I don't think they did. I think
misunderstood.
they just accomplished it. That
Nah,
that
I think
whole
that's deliberate.
I don't think a lot of them are deliberate though. They're like, "Oh, we write characters like the Joker here." It's like, "No, you don't. There's no way in hell that you can fucking pseudoscience your way into somebody that is so morally gray but does crazy things that envelops emotion enough that you're like, "Yeah, I feel bad." It's like, "No, that's not how that works."
I can't think of one on the spot, but I know I've like had that thought before. There's also a lot of posts about like what's up with Hallmark women or like yeah, Hallmark movie women where just like my husband went out of town on business to make us millions of dollars, so I ran off with another guy because he's the love of my life all of a sudden.
See, I told you. They're all formulaic. All of them.
The-
All of them. They're all fucking formulaic. They I don't understand why all women want love stories about cheating and a whole bunch of true crime podcasts and true crime shows like Law and Order
About
SVU.
getting away with murder.
Yes, those are the only things they want to do: cheat and murder. It's weird. How do we feel safe at home anymore when these women want to just murder us or run away with their best friend? I don't understand where this is, a logical train of thought. Why is every fucking show like this? I don't get it.
hmm
It's funny because everybody's gonna be like, "Look, the guy's wearing a Antichrist nun when he talks about women." Guys, it's a band T-shirt. Just to deal with the comments now, because herder, I know they're gonna be there. We have some dude wearing an Antichrist nun and a collar, and they're trying to tell us about what's wrong with Hallmark movies.
I'm like looking up a list where it's like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, Snape from Harry Potter.
Snape is probably by far the best answer, but also wasn't showcased the way he needed to be in the movies compared to the books, which makes it even funnier.
I feel like there was an
because-
actual villain like I've seen where it's just like, man, I actually agree with why he did what he did after we hear his backstory.
Voldemort is like that if you think about it. I
Nah,
don't know how much of the
too
lore
far.
you know. No, whatchamacallit, he was made through a love potion, which is why he felt no emotion. He was turned into a narcissist because of the love potion. Because he was a baby born from it. Which is, odd as fuck, but at the same time, it actually makes sense with what the lore is. Yep, you're good. Another weird one that actually makes a lot of sense is Team Rocket from the first couple generations of the TV show.
They were like legit threats and stronger and always won except for plot armor.
Except they always lost. They won. They were able to accomplish what they wanted to and then failed. And then they were shit on for it. The entire enemy teams in Pokemon shows and Pokemon games and stuff got really fucking weird. Where did we go from like a mob boss that was like, I'm gonna steal shit, to people trying to blow up the moon? Not blow up the moon, but like people dealing with space and time and everything. Like, that's such a weird fucking jump. Like, how do you feel like the first games at all are anything anymore if you go to Gen 4 and you're like, oh, we can alter space and time? They did the same exact thing fucking Mortal Kombat did, where it's like, we can just change anything that we want to change now.
Yeah, I can't think of like a really profound one, but I know they're out there.
Is that what you think Pokemon's going to do in a couple of years? Probably like 2 or 3 generations. Just go back to like Mortal Kombat 1, where they're like, okay, well, we
it's too
time.
DEI and off the rails to like get back to its roots. It's just gonna be more shit designs and nonsense.
You mean more trash bags and, rock guys? So, we did this last time, and I actually thoroughly loved it. Woods absolutely yelled at us for it, but, love Woods to death, but...
That was content. It's sad that he didn't understand it was content.
Yeah, so...
Because like it was great until like it was great because he didn't get it was a bit, but he was feeding into the bit, and then he hated the idea that it was a bit, and then it lost.
Yep. So I got 2 stories here. You guys can choose one for each, and then I'll go find myself one while you guys are reading yours.
All right.
Am I the asshole for being honest with my girlfriend when she asked a question about a birthday cake she made me? And am I the asshole?
I was about to say like another birthday cake one.
Yeah, okay. There can't be another one.
So one of you guys take this one, and then I will look for more. Okay. There is.
I'll take the cake because I started the cake.
Nope.
All right.
I got rid of the cake.
Oh wait, this is girlfriend's dresser drawers.
Yep.
Which I think we've also talked about. It's just the same. Okay, now I'm turning into Woods because it's the same bullshit fake stories that are just used there to farm karma on a platform of idiots and degenerates that doesn't matter anyways, and their opinions are worthless. And there's no reason to go on Am I the Asshole, because it's just assholes trying to pretend they're not assholes by calling everyone else assholes.
Honestly, I think that's what it is. Half the time, it's like I just want
let's
for what the fuck I did.
I think we need to also like plan and curate the Am I the Asshole ones better than instead of just throwing them out in the middle of an episode and then being like, never mind, this is bullshit. And we just wasted 15 minutes of our valuable time with Nirth, who only comes on once a year.
We could ask Grok to just write one.
Yo, do that.
I got this. Yep.
That's the best one right now.
Keep covering time. I will. All
right. You guys try to ask Grok about yourself. Apparently he knows all about Nirth, the anti-cheat stance and everything.
That you're surprising, because like I can be found on Google Gemini pretty easily, and I went pretty like it offended me when I went on to Google Gemini, because they were just like, despite proficiency, he is I need to pull it up. Actually, I need to see if I can pull it up, because it's actually hilarious how accurately offensive it is to me.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's some potential criticism and controversies you can explore when it comes to Verlisify. Negativity and harsh criticism. Some viewers find Verlisify's tone negative and overly critical when discussing Pokemon games or cheating. This could be illustrated as words too harsh. Clickbait and sensationalism. Okay, that's just bullshit. Promoting toxicity, selective focus, and then lack of constructive solutions. You don't need a constructive solution when it's cheating is wrong. That's the end-all solution. There's no other discussion needed. But it targeted me by saying I lack constructive solutions because it's being trained off of the idiots. So that's what I mean when it's like, oh, I don't like how they know exactly what's happening.
Okay, so I had it right 3 of them, and I'm going to read off topics, and I want you to tell me which one you guys want me to read. Am I the asshole for refusing to lend my car to my brother after he turned the last one into a meteorite? Am I the asshole for refusing? Why did it just use car as the only fucking thing? No, that's not more extreme, Grok. You're retarded.
Yeah, then don't make them extreme.
No, that's not what I said. I just said use more extreme language, and it said it turned it
no,
into a black
don't
hole.
even do that. Don't confuse it. Just make it right. What its interpretation of an average, just direct. Am I the asshole?
Can you circle it around some current event or something like the election or something?
Make up a story from the Am I the Asshole?
Okay. So I do want to read this one because it was funny.
Okay.
Where is it? Okay, so my brother, call him Kamikaze Ken, has this unique gift of transforming cars into celestial bodies. His last car didn't just crash; it literally left Earth's atmosphere for a moment.
That's too stupid.
Yeah.
Here's one. All right, was funny. I think this is great. Am I the asshole for using my sister's wedding to settle a score? That sounds real. Posted by you, settling scores 99. I, male 27. Oh my god, it's like I'm just going to take like a quick screenshot because it got the format.
Nice.
Yeah, it's getting literally 3/4 the way there, but not there.
Yeah, so it's not the full thing. I'm going to keep scrolling and telling it, but just put up the example.
It didn't even give me that.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. You made it too extreme and weird, and I just said make up a story from Am I the Asshole subreddit. You just guide it properly, and you can get great outputs from GPT. I, 27 male, have always had a complicated relationship with my younger sister, Emma, 24 female. So good. Growing up, Emma was always the... Bro, we need to post this on the Am I the Asshole Reddit.
and then we'll read out the reactions and comments.
Yeah, that'll be next week. Like, comment, subscribe. Emma was always the golden child, the one who could do no wrong in our parents' eyes. Fast forward to now, where Emma's getting married to her high school sweetheart, Tom. The wedding has been the talk of the family for months, especially since it's a grand affair at a vineyard. No expense spared. Bro, I feel sympathy for... What's his name? Oh, he doesn't have a name. Just I. Settling the score 99. I just have so much sympathy for already. Here's where things get dicey. About a year ago, Emma and I got into a huge argument over something petty. Don't even remember. She decided to escalate it by telling our entire extended family that I was mooching off our parents, which is far from the truth. I've been financially independent since I was 21. This lie spread like wildfire and really strained my relationship with the whole family. When Emma's wedding invitation came, it excluded a request for guests to help with the... When Emma's wedding invitation came, it included a request for guests to help with a time capsule project. Each guest was supposed to contribute a small item or a letter to be opened on the 25th anniversary. Saw this as a golden opportunity to address the elephant in the room. Bro, that is like the most fantastical wedding that's made up inside of a made-up story. I didn't even know... Do people do time capsule weddings? Is that a real thing?
It's a weird idea to do, but it's
that's
not
kind
bad.
Of dank. That's so dank. All right, the story. I decided to write a letter for the time capsule, but instead of the usual well wishes and funny anecdotes, I wrote about how Emma lied about me, how it affected my relationships with my family, and how I hoped she would grow up and reflect on her actions over the next 25 years. I sealed it in an envelope, marked it Urgent Family Matters, and popped it into the capsule with all the other mementos. Fast forward to wedding day, ceremony was beautiful, everything was perfect, everyone was in high spirits. When the time came for the time capsule to be buried, Emma made a speech about how this capsule symbolized the journey of love and growth. They then invited everyone to contribute. My turn came, I dropped the letter in, but the weight of my actions started to sink in as I saw Emma's beaming smile. The reception went on, and I mostly avoided my family, had a mix of satisfaction and guilt. As the night wound down, Emma approached me. She said, or she had somehow gotten a hold of my letter before it was buried. Her face was hurt. She confronted me at the reception and in front of the family members. And then, how could you do this on my wedding day? The room fell silent. Yeah. Need to. It's just a long sentence. Hold on, let me recompose. Okay, so she found the letter. She said, "How can you do this on my wedding day? Was this really necessary?" The room fell silent. All eyes were on us. I responded, "I just wanted to clean the air. I thought it'd be the moment you'd finally see the impact of your words." That was it.
Damn.
And
So I got one. Am I the asshole for naming my
well,
kid after my...
we need to see how that works as an "Am I the asshole" story. So she's the asshole for opening the letter that was supposed to go in the time capsule where this would be forgotten about in 25 years.
Yes, absolutely. There's your reason not to play along with things like this. Like if you're going to do a time capsule or something where you record a video for your family in 5 years or something like that, or after you die.
Oh yeah.
What's
Here's
the
one
point
thing at
in
the bottom.
not...
Am I the asshole for using my sister's wedding as an opportunity to settle our score? I think like this gets touched up a little bit, posted on Reddit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So I have one. Am I the asshole for naming my kid after my favorite beer? So my wife, 32 female, and I, 34 male, were expecting our first child. We couldn't agree on names. She wanted something traditional like Henry or Elizabeth. But you see, I'm a bit more of a brew enthusiast. I suggest we name our kid Guinness, and if it's a boy, Stella, if it's a girl. My wife laughed it off at first, thinking it was a joke, but I was dead serious. I mean, come on, naming your kid after a beer? It's like giving them a head start in life with an instant conversation starter at any party. Fast forward to the birth. It's a boy, I announced with pride. Meet Guinness. My wife's face turned from joy to horror quicker than I spilt pint. She said, "You can't be serious," but I was. I even had a tiny Guinness hat ready for the little guy. Now, my in-laws are refusing to use the name. They call him Baby G or just grandson. My wife has started calling him Gus, which I guess is her compromise. But every time I call him Guinness, I get this stink eye from everyone. I thought it was a brilliant name, full of character and charm, but apparently naming your child after your favorite stout isn't a parenting highlight. I thought it would be. My wife said I ruined our son's future social life, but I think it's a badge of honor. Am I the asshole for standing by the name Guinness, or should I have stuck to something less fermented?
I think Guinness is a stupid name. I feel like that's a winning formula if you find like some niche brew or niche name that's kind of like hard to pick up on, but it still is inspired. That could also be another it's all fake stories anyway, so I'm just making up another fake story for Am I the Asshole right here, where my wife found out that I named my kid after a niche beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Guinness is too on the nose. You need to have it like like some other thing.
Like, wasn't there some story about someone naming their daughter their favorite soccer team spelled backwards, and he didn't tell them?
Yeah. I mean, like, I have seen other ones like that where it's just like my wife found out that it's actually like an inside joke.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious because it's like, okay, think about the names that you're like, oh, these are horrible. All of them, like Diamond, Ruby, Sapphire, Mercedes. It's like all things that you can't fucking afford. Like it's poor people naming their kids things that they can't afford. Why the fuck? It's at the same level as Guinness. If you're gonna name your kid fucking Diamond, at least let the guy have Guinness. Like, what the fuck's the problem here? Doesn't make any fucking sense. But honestly, I could see that fucking posted on Am I the Asshole, couldn't you? I could fucking see that shit.
Tracks.
Like I said, I like you could also make an extra fake one. Like she found out that's my favorite beer.
So next week we will absolutely have the availability for those responses. So I'm gonna create fake accounts and post on Am I the Asshole as long as there's no minimum karma limit, because fake internet points have to have a reason. And we'll see exactly what the hell.
Yo, you actually need to make the user settling the score 99.
Okay, I will. It'll be hilarious.
Arsenal, the soccer team. I think.
It could be like I named my son Alan, which is supposed to be like based off of ale.
So, boys, it's been great. Nirth, we love having you on. Even
an hour and 20. That's it.
Oh, we can keep going. I just figured we had two. So reveal behind the curtain. We're recording 2 episodes today. I have the entire other, you know, episode tracked for what we're going to talk about. This one, Nirth's like, we're talking about Pokemon Pocket and Pokemon Go and all Pokemon. I have one last topic to wrap it up on Pokemon. We have Pokemon Legends ZA coming out. Honestly, we haven't heard any fucking thing talked about at all since the original trailer that we talked about. What do you Verlis is going to say this is going to be the worst game of all
What
time.
a shit last topic that we've already talked about so many times that we have nothing to contribute because there's been no updates in 7 months.
No. You have no idea what the fuck I was going to ask. No idea. You have no fucking idea what I was going to ask. I was going to ask you, what positive do you want from this? What's one Pokemon that you're like, this needs a buff? Or this thing needs to be a mega, or what positive?
You don't know enough about the game for that to actually be a thing. They're not going to buff an uncompetitive series like Legends because Legends Arceus was so shit. They're going to give Zygarde a Mega, and then they're going to give Zoroark a Mega because it was supposed to be introduced in Generation 6, and that's how we found out about the power plant.
Well, obviously, you were going to go
That's
with
literally in the Game Freak leaks, Nirth. Why are you looking at me like that?
Collar. You know for damn sure you were going to say Zoroark needed a Mega.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was Electric Steel in the Game Freak like Giga Leak, and that was supposed to be the mythical for the power plant event.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So Zeraora would have been it.
Yeah.
What about the Switch successor, though? That's the thing that I'm stuck
We're waiting
on,
until because like it's a fiscal year. Nintendo said they're
before March
announcing it
2025.
Exactly. So yeah, we're still 4 months away from that.
Compatible. So
we don't get to know shit.
Yeah. I'm curious if they were gonna release it simultaneously on the Switch and the Switch 2, essentially.
That seems like what they should do, or that's more lining up.
Yeah, I heard something about upscaling technology for many years. Maybe it's finally happening to where they just.
It's all bullshit. It's all lies. We have no news. I sent you fucking like 20 tweets, Zach. Why didn't you pull a cool topic?
Because Nirth didn't want to cover anything other than Pokemon, and then we got on to Norway, and
you don't want to talk about how news. You don't hate the media enough. They say you can feed 10 people this Thanksgiving for $60.
We can cover that. Let's fucking cover it, okay? Okay.
Yeah, I want your Euro take on this. How are you going to make a dinner for 10 people for $60?
Hey, I was being respectful of the guest and keeping topics somewhat in line. I was trying to be the good guy.
What here. Nirth is based. We can have fun with him.
Okay.
It's mostly just Pokemon stuff is what I know, but
Thanksgiving dinner is historically affordable this year.
Yeah, because like there was that time when we were in stream and that one weirdo was coming in. It's like, I've assisted in births of 50-year-olds. It's like, you're fucking weird and wrong.
That's fucking gross.
Yeah, that was gross because we were talking about how it's like, bro, once you're in your late 30s, like you're done as a woman for becoming a mom, and anything after that is irresponsible. And then I offended like 3 people in chat, and one person's like, oh, I actually assist with this. This is my job. We've had successful births into like late 40s and even a 50-year-old. It's like, you just fucked up a child so hard. And that's what I mean, like Nirth is base, he can get in on that shit.
No, I try and respect. He said Pokemon, so I kind of held to that. Honestly, the fact that anybody's like, yeah, let's give birth after 40 when they're a woman is disgusting. So my mom had a baby who had Down syndrome. That's my brother who passed away. And as a whole, the statistics on Down syndrome kids after 40 quadruple.
After 35, you start getting bad kids.
Exactly. Like it just increases everlasting. It just goes up incrementally. It's insane that anybody would be like, oh, guys, this is how this works. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is genuinely wrong with you? Not only that, you cannot keep up with that fucking kid. There's no way in hell you're going to be in your 50s and running after a fucking toddler. Like, there's no fucking way.
That's
fucking stupid.
That's one of the big things
19,
I had.
I struggled.
Yeah. Like when I was like as I've grown up into like my 20s and 30s, I'm just like, oh, I'm tired a lot. My back hurts, and I don't even have to raise me while working a job. So it's like, oh, that's why mom just slept all day. That's why my dad would, he would just be like, all right, don't wake us up till dinner. I'm ordering pizza because you have no energy left.
Yeah, no.
And then it's like, and it was his prime of his life, and it was too much.
Burn out. you burn out so fucking quickly, man.
Yeah.
And I used to deal with that shit all of the fucking time. And it's just like there's zero reason. You got to kind of enjoy what you have, but at the same time, it's like enjoying what you have is also,
And I
trying
think
to
my
do the right
mom,
thing.
like, I'm not going to expose my mom's exact age, but I think she was late 30s when she had us. So, like, already kind of get on the tail end. That's why my nose is crooked. My brother's an idiot. Unlucky.
Exactly. So this Thanksgiving dinner is historically affordable this year. Farm data shows that holiday meal staples collectively at their cheapest are after adjusting for inflation in near 40 years, not including COVID hit of 2020.
You believe
60
shit's more affordable this year?
No, it's fucking not. And we'll bring up the other tweet in a second.
Yeah.
The
Nirth, how's
fact
food
that
over there? You
Yeah.
live in?
Expensive.
Yeah, everything's expensive.
But I think relatively speaking, it's less full of the stuff that they put in the Fruit Loops and all that.
Yeah,
no,
that's
At least that's good. That's a
Our
win.
food is all crap now, and it's more expensive. The shrinkflation has been a killer, and now they're saying you can feed 10 people for $60 on things. And, like, that's Thanksgiving. You can't feed 10 people for $60 with a regular Wednesday night meal that is going to be trash. So, like, people are trying to justify it in, like, the Twitter comments. I think did I just post a picture or did I post the tweet? Yeah.
You posted the tweet. I have it.
Yeah, the replies are just like, I bought a turkey for $10, but it's like, yeah, that's because it's a special promo because they expect you to spend $100 in other staples. And,
Yeah.
like, that means you're getting the shittiest turkey for your big dinner celebration of the year. It's going to be dry, it's going to be jacked up on antibiotics, and it's going to be sad as fuck.
Somebody responded with this. Thanksgiving turkey is so cheap this year. That's because they were born in an incubator, raised in a warehouse, and slaughtered at 6 months old, never having once lifted their wings, seeing sunlight, or experiencing fresh air. Turkeys are fed a diet of processed GMO grain, antibiotics, and growth hormones, which is why, along with selective breeding, the average turkey is 3 times larger than it was 100 years ago. Their
Yeah.
beaks and toes are particularly removed. They live in shit, breathing in its byproduct from ammonia and nitrous oxide. Turkeys are excluded from the Humane Methods of Slaughter Act. So after 6 months, they are hung upside down on a conveyor belt and dunked in electrified water and processed. That is fucking insane.
Yeah. And also, people are like trying to act like that it's always like it's cheaper now, but like no, you can always find a weird deal where it's like 39 cents a pound for a 20-pound bird. That existed all the time. Like you can find it, but again, you're going to get like the shittest bird possible. But then people are like, "Oh, who's paying $2 a pound for a turkey?" It's like someone that actually wants a real dinner. So right, and even then, like a $2 turkey, it's still a little sketchy. But I mean, okay, 20-pound bird for 10 people. That's not even enough. You need 25 pounds. You're gonna need $50 for just the bird, and then if you want to have a banquet, it's
I
over.
remember even like 10 years ago. So I know Price Chopper is a regional grocery store, but I know that there's stores that kind of do similar things like ShopRite and stuff like that. Where if you bought the turkey itself, they would give you the potatoes, they would give you the stuffing, they would give you like some of the fixins and that kind of stuff. But it still was like $25, $30.
Yeah, and that'd
Like
be for
even
4
then,
people, not 10.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, what are you even talking about? Is it about the same for turkey specifically? Sure, I can completely buy that. But at the
Yeah,
same
because
time,
the manufacturing cost is not going to be affected by inflation when it comes to what they're doing to those birds.
yeah, exactly. And it's just fucking disgusting. There's zero fucking reason for it.
Oh yeah, and the
Zero.
funny thing is, inside of that article, they reference Aldi because Aldi is like, hey, we're going to take a hit this year for you guys because we're like the discount food brand. So we're giving you guys turkeys like the cheapest ever this year. And like that was their thing, was like a special deal. But inside of that post that Aldi made, they were like, we acknowledge that the price of goods has gone up 50%, which is why we're doing this. So the reference NBC is using to justify cheapness is actually saying, no, we're taking a loss here because everything is 50% more expensive this year.
And if you want honesty, and this might just be my local one or whatever, Aldi is the most disgusting grocery store to ever go to.
Oh yeah.
You are, yes. And
I
I
just
know
have a reference. Like I don't know what that means, but
Do you have like not like a it's like what is it called? Like an outlet? Like a food
yeah,
outlet?
it's like a discount grocery store where it gets like all of the shit that nobody wanted to sell. Like, you know that there's that fucking YouTube sponsor that comes up that's like Misfit Market, where it's like it sells all the shit that most people wouldn't purchase and everything else to lower waste and stuff. Aldi is like one of the shittiest grocery stores that you could ever go
Do you
into.
have a poor people's grocery store out there, or is it just like
Actually, groceries are kind of weird in Norway because we have 3 companies that basically run the show.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
they have 90.
But is there like a
or
fourth
something.
company under there that's kind of like the? Yeah, so you can.
Not
No,
like,
that would just be immigrant stores, like
Mhm.
one-off immigrant stores doing whatever things they do. But
so
yeah,
I went into Aldi last time I went there, and I was like, okay, I have like $100 to get just groceries to top everything off, and I ended up buying a pizza. And the pizza, the entire thing, other than there was like a corner of it was covered. There was a corner that was open so you could see that there was cheese on
Little
it, and it was
window.
normal pizza. I opened the pizza box. Everything where there was not the fucking cut was green fucking mold, and they
oh
accept no returns.
no,
It's not always that bad. Like you
Yeah,
don't always get like the spoiled food there, but it's one of those things where it's like anything that's a week until expiration goes to Aldi or like goes to
or
whatever
or it's
retailer that
all
is.
completely off name,
Oh,
off
and
brand
we have the
shit.
most American system with those kinds of places that they don't give you grocery bags or anything. They give you the boxes that the shit was shipped in, and that's how like you have to Tetris it in. So like you pick up the box that like the watermelons were in, and then that's how you like put your old
uh,
cereal and all that stuff in.
Or you buy the bags from them.
I haven't
Yeah,
been to one that has bags or like
like Aldi, you have to put a quarter in the cart so that way they make sure that they don't have to pay somebody in order to
that's
bring the
regional.
cart back.
That's regional.
I'm always
That,
surprised by the fact that people are packing the bags. Like here, it's just like a long thing that they just do the the
yeah,
groceries down, and then you have to pack it all yourself
yeah,
before
you
the
have to
next
pack it in the
person is just
boxes and
having their
stuff. Yeah.
stuff pushed down the board.
It, Aldi is weird because they have like a bar at the end of the cash registers where you can sit all your stuff on it. So that way
Yeah,
you can
we have
then
those too.
rebag it afterwards. So that way it's put in the
Uh,
bags or the boxes because they don't want to touch your shit after they cash
Here we
out.
go.
There's one thing that I bought at Aldi that I'm like, okay, that's better than normal places, and it's their Pop Tarts.
Here's what you're taking home if you can put that on screen, Zach.
Yep, I got that. Oh,
but at
that's
least your
awesome.
bags over there are free. We pay 50
Nope.
cents per bag.
We pay
At
10
Aldi,
cents
you
now.
pay for them. Yeah.
10 cents?
Yeah.
Jeez.
But there's also places where it's like that. Like they just have the stockpile of like all of their empty boxes that they used
Yep.
for stocking the shelves, and that's how you carry it home.
I
And
kind of like that personally. I wouldn't mind it.
But it
If
just
it's
kind of
free.
shows like this is the quality of place that we're in.
and
Yeah.
like even in that image, oh, wrong one. Oh, I like that one better. Even in this image, you can only see one brand name thing in this entire thing. And some
Twix.
people will be like, okay, I accept that, whatever. But
Yeah, what the fuck is Fancy's restaurant style tortilla chips?
like for damn sure that this is just like literally tortilla chips that went stale and they cut them up and hope that they
Is
were
that
able
supposed
to
to be a
sell.
melon? That is the smoothest, whitest melon I've ever seen in the bottom right.
Yep. It's just
Maybe it's a
one of those
honeydew.
it's one of those stories
That's still an ugly,
Ugly
disgusting honeydew.
and like I've gone and I've tried to save money and it's just like the
Mhm.
only thing that I found at Aldi that I'm like, okay, I will actually buy this there. And I'll only buy it there if I'm in town and there's an Aldi there, will be the Pop Tarts. The cinnamon Pop Tarts on the inside of them, when you eat a Pop Tart, it's all like that pasty, gross, dusty kind of stuff. It's like a cookie on the inside of the pastry.
Mhm.
Aldi's is actual like gel, like jelly. And that is so much better than the shitty Pop Tarts. But that is the only thing that I found there where I'm like, okay, that's acceptable enough. Like
I
you
feel like
buy
your
their
Aldi
water,
is
it's kind
like
of
a
gross.
below average Aldi.
I've
Like
gone to 3 of them. All of them are
well,
kind
just
of the
your
same.
area has like the worst. I've like back in my day before YouTube popped off and I was a wagey working like 4 minimum wage jobs at the same time. I feel like I could survive off of that, and not be too bad off.
You also have to think that I have 3 kids. So like if I was by myself, my standard for living would be a hell of a lot lower than it is.
But that's what I mean. Like my standard was lower, but I looked at it and going like that's survivable and like
Yeah,
not.
like
I wasn't getting moldy food.
yeah, that pizza just turned me off completely. Like why would I buy anything that's fresh there? So
Mhm.
now I don't buy any vegetables, fruit, anything that's cold or anything that, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's half the store. What the fuck why am I even going there at this point? Because
It
it's
also
kind of a
feels like you're
waste.
going into some kind of weird warehouse when you walk into that place, and it's like, they have no care for whatsoever.
This
It
is how
feels like you're buying bulk.
this is where like a lot of the grocery stores around me look like. I don't know why that's an Aldi. That's crazy.
That's a grocery outlet, which is kind of the same thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, here we go. Here's the aura that we need to show Nirth. This most recent picture.
Is it still in the Discord?
No,
Am I
you
posting
sent
it
it to
to?
me.
I think
I
I'm
got it.
accidentally sending it to just Zach instead, so he
Nope,
can
I got
put it up.
Yep. I'll put it up.
So this is how you know you're in like a discount grocery market when
And I like
that's
this one a hell of a lot more than the other one.
yeah.
But yeah, Nirth, this is how Aldi
There we
looks.
go.
But it's always understocked. So they
Yeah.
have nobody working other than people that are stocking the floor.
It just feels discount.
Yeah, it just feels shit.
Do you guys have
And
the
then
self checkouts?
Yes. Yeah.
That's
I
a big
remember.
thing over here recently.
Oh, we've had this for a decade.
Yeah, Walmart and Target's finally figuring out that if you let degenerate retards cash out their own groceries, that people are going to steal shit. Like the fact that nobody understood that that was what was going to happen is absolutely insane.
A decade ago, we did live in a higher trust society.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that, nobody was going to take anything. Motherfucker, how often was it like you would forget to scan a thing of soda that you put on the bottom of your cart? Back in the day, they used to have to remind you, sir, did you have anything at the bottom of your cart? If people, even genuine people that are like, oh, I didn't remember something was at the bottom of my cart. That's a lot of fucking people now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people now, especially when you have all of the people that are on food stamps and everything else that are buying carts full of groceries. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a cart full of groceries. Oh, go scan it out. Oh, every checkout is fucking 15 items or less.
Well, what people do is that they just like scan in an apple and then they drop like an iPod in their basket. Not to that extreme, but where it's like, oh yeah, the more expensive product they just ring up as something else.
I'm gonna send this to Nirth since you sent it to just me.
I put that.
Nope, you put it in the other one. You're good.
Left out.
But yeah, no, I can't. That shit is so fucking stupid. Where they're like, oh yeah, theft went up. Yes, dipshits, theft was going to go up. You made it so that way we're in charge of how much our groceries cost. And as inflation goes up, we're gonna start taking more.
So yeah, now it's like you could barely the thing is a $50 dinner would feed like a family of 4, and it would be just a decent dinner, even if you're shopping discount. I don't understand how you don't hate the media enough. All it is lies and gaslighting and saying, no, you're not spending more on things, even though that's exactly how you felt. We didn't feel this way under Trump. Everyone was happy. Everyone's dollar went further. Everyone was more employed. Everyone got money back on their taxes. And then after Biden, it's like, no, things aren't more expensive. Yeah, things aren't more expensive. You were actually worse under Trump. You had less money.
So
how much a month do you guys spend on the groceries? Like comparatively?
$250.
$250?
Yeah, about 500 or so, 600.
Now I'll pay partially for someone else too, but usually I think it's around 800 maybe.
Yeah.
800 or 900. It's a lot of money.
You're making good food though, from what I've seen.
That is true.
You showed me like you're putting pine nuts in your salad. No wonder it's 800 a month. I'm living off of pasta and peanut butter.
Okay.
And like pasta has gone up like 33%. I just looked at the price. If you bought great value pasta, I can't show it because it shows your location when you bring up Walmart. But it was 67 cents a box when you bought noodles 4 years ago. It is 98 cents now. So every noodle brand is exactly $1 instead of.
So I have some interesting observations. Before COVID, a box of saltines, like name brand saltines, was like $1.29. Peak COVID, it went up to like $4. Our supply chain for wheat got fucked. Craziest thing, Gushers stayed the same. Gushers are the most inflation-resistant food in history. They were $4 in 1990. They're $4 now.
But there's only, 4 Gushers in each pack.
No, it's the exact same box of Gushers, the 6-pack Gushers. Maybe you get one less Gusher per pack. But the thing is, I wonder if that's like manufacturing. That the technology to inject the shit into the Gusher and then make whatever magic is going on in there has actually just outpaced inflation. And no matter what, just $4 for a pack of Gushers or a box of Gushers forever.
It could be the same thing as the what is that tea company again? They just kept it at 99 cents or what it is.
Oh, Arizona tea,
Arizona.
yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, so they were always gouging us, and now they've just kept the gouging smaller. Because like back in the late '90s, a pack of Gushers was like $1.50. Your kid isn't worth that. You were privileged to get Gushers back in the day. Now
fruit roll up.
That's your average.
Fruit
Fruit
roll-ups
roll-up
were
is always
$1
cheap.
each.
I think fruit roll-ups have actually like been more fairly priced compared to Gushers. Like I said, whatever technology, the investment of the billions of dollars to put that shit into the Gusher, make it juicy on the inside.
So that tweet that you shared, well, that I put on screen, actually laid out something that's pretty crazy. It says it costs $60 for a family of 4 to eat at McDonald's. And I went to McDonald's recently. And I for a while, for a couple of years, I didn't go to McDonald's. It just kind of spaced out. And who the fuck orders McDonald's to your house?
That's because it's not worth it. No matter what you do, it's like if you every time you're like, oh, I haven't been to McDonald's in a while, let me go. And then one person is $16. It's like I could have gone anywhere and gotten a meal.
Well, even then, like when I worked, I would buy 2 plain McChickens and a large fry. And I would get the drink when I walked through the store and just buy a Monster when I got to work. And that was like $6-7.
That sounds expensive. Like it sounded like dollar menu shit where like you get the medium fry, so it's $2.25, or large fries $2.50, and then $2 chicken sandwiches, $5. But they don't have dollar menu.
Now the dollar menu's gone.
You want my favorite piece of
$3?
You want my favorite piece of trivia from the stock market that I learned? The day that McDonald's announced their cancellation of the dollar menu, their stock went up 6%.
Yeah.
Because people saw profit. They don't care how pissed off the consumer is. They're just like, it's raw profit.
Yeah. They're still going to go, so.
Yeah.
I think the most surprising price jump on any like individual item in the store is butter for me. It's literally double.
Eggs and butter out here.
Yes. Yeah. Eggs and butter. That was my other thing, but it's not quite double, but it's basically double than what it was for like 5 years ago.
12 packs of soda are like $5 more than they used to be. They were like
shit's not more expensive, you bigot.
To like $8. And it's just like, what the fuck is that?
What was that?
12 packs
no, shit isn't more expensive, you bigot.
Yeah.
No,
definitely not. But yet, for a family of 5, for me, it costs $48 to pay for all of our dinner. And that's with being conscious and buying sandwiches that are cheaper and buying it's
kids meals and
so
shit.
Fucking no, only one kids meal now because the other 2 are like 11 to 13, so they're buying adult meals. It's like, okay, now I can explain to you why you do it this way because it's cheaper. Oh no, if you're buying meals, it's fucking $15 per person. Like that's fucking stupid. And then you have a kids meal on top of that. That's another $8. I'm spending $70 for a family of 5 to eat at McDonald's.
Yeah, I talked about this not too long ago where I said like, yo, you can get a top loin like 8 ounces for $10 on Amazon. Get one of the best steaks you've ever cooked for less than a burger at McDonald's these days. Just throw it in a sous vide, boom, done. More prep, fine, but whatever. You can do like 4 steaks at a time in the sous vide, put it in the fridge. That's actually how you're supposed to do it. That way it doesn't heat up too much on the inside when you sear it. And then 2 minutes, less time it takes to get to your car before you even drive to the McDonald's. Your steak is done. And it's better.
It's insane that, the pricing of some of these fast food restaurants now is outpacing everything else. The other thing that I saw, and this might be a life hack for somebody that makes a little bit more money than I do, is if you buy catering from like Chipotle or something like that you're able to reheat, you're able to get 10 meals for $50. It brings the price down about $3 to $4 a bowl, essentially. But that's fucking nice. That's 10 meals for $50. That goes
that's
long
Chipotle level burrito bowls.
Yeah.
That's better than anything you make at home somehow. They have magic.
And it's not even the chicken because I can match the chicken. That rice is fucking off. That rice is different.
Bro, their beans are different.
I don't eat their beans.
Oh.
I don't eat beans.
You're doing it wrong.
Yuck. Tism. Just like when Woody brought up that he eats mixed vegetables every night. And I was like, so it's carrots, peas, green beans, and lima beans. He's like, yeah, essentially. And I'm like, yeah, I called it. I was like, that's fucking disgusting. Fucking gross. Nobody eats green beans and lima beans together. That's nasty.
Yeah, that like bag of frozen mixed vegetables is just horrible.
Yeah, no, it's gross. let alone not being able to put butter on it. Imagine eating lima beans without any fucking butter or salt. That's gross. It's like eating absolute shit. Okay, guys, everybody, go check out Nirth. He'll come back on in 6 months to a year. We'll see him again. See you guys later. Use code RMTS at checkout. Use Verlisify at checkout at G Fuel, and we'll see you next time.